Since the announcement of President Tinubu in May, that subsidy gone, we've seen how our lives have gone worse off. And we've seen how all the economic policies have gone. Higher inflation, the convergence of the currencies will bring in a lot of problems. That's why we have a government. They must look for a way to fix the problem. Nigerians are waiting. Because in all of this, the government is still appointing more aides. And we say we don't have money to cut the cost of government. We are saying, oh, salary wage is quite bloated, 3.8 trillion. But you're still having a lot of aides. You're having a cabinet of close to 50 ministers. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Let us build this government and this country to truly serve the interests of the people. Everybody touted a refinery, a private refinery was going to start at some point to cushion the effect on the people. We've seen nothing yet. And the pain continues for a lot of Nigerians. Life is harder by the day. People hardly go on the street. They can't buy fuel any longer. $94 per barrel now. At some point, the government will have to pay subsidy. Maybe it's already paying subsidy. It's not telling the people. So trust is a big problem. And when you have the problem of trust, then it becomes a zero-sum game. And the people are the biggest losers in all of this.
Dangote refinery, according to the president, said by December it will resume fully into work or into production. Dangote refinery, there was a promise during the commissioning back in May that on or before August, the refinery will kick-starting. Up to date, we have not seen any production from the so-called refinery. And we believe from every indication that it may not even kickstart this year. Maybe sometime next year or even 2 years from today. Now, the palliative that has been released by the federal government came after the removal of the fuel subsidy. On the 29th of May, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu made it in his inaugural speech that the subsidy is gone. Welcome to Politics on the Wheel. Well, Jay, and this is Elite TV. So now, the reason for me bringing this to you this morning is because I have something I want you to watch, to listen to, of how the government have no regard for its citizens. There is no way that you are planning to remove a subsidy without planning to cushion the effect of the subsidy you're about to remove. Now, the subsidy has been removed. None of the refineries are working. Even the private one is not yet ready to work. And now the labor union are planning to go on an indefinite strike. A strike that will shut down the whole country. Excuse me, on the 5th and 6th of September, we had the one-day strike, which was not necessary. Which many people believe that, even including myself, was a political arrangement with the labor union. And they always come out to say, we are still on dialogue and all of that. If these people are not listening to you, if you want to go to strike, you go to strike. But now they are planning to go on an indefinite strike within the next 48 hours because the meeting they had yesterday never materialized into anything. The government neglects the things that they needed to do in order to put the country in the right direction. This is not about the Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration alone. This is about the Buhari administration of 8 years. You know, I don't want to talk about the other years of PDP, Jonathan, Yar'Adua, and Obasanjo's administration, because that was far back as how many years ago. We should be talking about within the last 10 years, what is obtainable. So, not to drag much, here is a video of how Nigerians, you know, are suffering as a result of the fact that the government is not taking our citizens serious.
I fully acknowledge and appreciate the invaluable role the NLC plays in championing for the rights and welfare of our workers. Your dedication and tireless advocacy have been critical in shaping a fair and inclusive work environment and ensuring the well-being of our workforce. We acknowledge the valid grievances that have fueled the recent labor crisis, and we are committed to addressing them in a just and equitable manner.
You can see that there's no agreement on any or no implementation. There's no CNG anywhere. The refineries are not working. Wage award, transfer, there are also issues. So those are issues we believe that between now and the next few days when the ultimatum will expire, that something will happen. So, and it's possible that, you know, something could happen. So that is where we are. And that rhetoric will not solve the problem. Endless meetings will not be the way out. Even the issue of refineries, according to Joe Ajero, no clarity in that regard. Just promises upon promises upon promises, and appeal to let's have open and constructive dialogue. However, the deadline that organized labor gave in their statement on September 1
was a 21-day notice, and that will be within this week. So if nothing concrete comes out in the next 48 hours, would Labour go on what he calls total and indefinite strike? And I think I made a point yesterday. If that happens, then it's everyone that will be affected. Look at the implications in terms of the cost. Look at the implications in terms of productivity. Look at the implications in terms of, look, the hardship that Nigerians will further face. I think it's important for government. It's good that the various parties are sitting at the negotiation table, but it's also important for government to put something concrete on the table. In many of the states, they are distributing palliatives, bags of rice. And in some of the states, we've heard about, people being beaten up, in those states. Although I hear that Mr. Awolumate, the world chairman in Okagbe, who decided to go physical with the Commissioner for Women Affairs, will be made to face the full wrath of the law. But
okay, why are we where we are today? We are here because of the bad faith of government, and which is very instructive. If government campaigned on the need to be able to make the lives of Nigerians better, and is reneging on its campaign promise, we should be able to call out the government, pure and simple. The government said subsidy gone without putting things in place for the people. Labour is making demands. At first, for a couple of months, the government did not even attend to the meetings and the needs of Labour. Now, they are trying to do a palliative meeting to be able to end the strike that Labour had called for a while. We are going back in circles. Yesterday, I called it a staccato movement. Today, it's worse than that. The Nigerian workers are constantly suffering. The demands of Labour never shifted. Fix local refineries. The president said the other day that we're going to fix local refineries before December, that Port Harcourt should be on stream. We're waiting for December. Everybody touted a private refinery was going to start at some point to cushion the effect on the people. We've seen nothing yet. And the pain continues for a lot of Nigerians. Life is harder by the day. People hardly go on the street. They can't buy fuel any longer. $94 per barrel now. At some point, the government will have to pay subsidy. Maybe it's already paying subsidy. It's not telling the people. So trust is a big problem. And when you have the problem of trust, then it becomes a zero-sum game. And the people are the biggest losers in all of this. I don't know the magic government will have to perform. Probably infiltrate the ranks of Labour, take them to court like they did the last time. But yes, you might whittle down the influence of the strike, but it doesn't mean the problem has been solved. So since the announcement of President Tinubu in May, that subsidy gone, we've seen how our lives have gone worse off. And we've seen how all the economic policies have gone. Higher inflation, the convergence of the currencies will bring in a lot of problems. That's why we have a government. They must look for a way to fix the problem. Nigerians are waiting. Because in all of this, the government is still appointing more aides. And we say we don't have money to cut the cost of government. We are saying, oh, salary wage is quite bloated, 3.8 trillion. But you're still having a lot of aides. You're having a cabinet of close to 50 ministers. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Let us build this government and this country to truly serve the interests of the people.
This meeting of labor union, the meeting of the president, whatever with the union, it will never amount to any. The last time we saw labor union holding government into ransom was when the former governor of Edo State, Adams Oshomole, was the chairman of the labor union. And we saw how he demonstrates those character of a leader. But after that he became the governor of Edo State, everything changed. We no longer see the comrade that we do see when during the time of Obasanjo, he was the labor union chairman. That's a topic for another day. Thank you for watching. Please, what do you think? Let's share this video and react positively at the comment section.